G'day folks and welcome to the Vookcast, Australia's Nintendo podcast. My name's Oliver Brandt and in this episode I'm joined by Angelo Valdivia.
What's crack-a-lack and paisanos?
Okay, no. That one's gone.
Michael Goncalves.
Hey, team.
And Luke Henderson.
Hello there.
We did it, guys. We broke the curse and then immediately unbroke the curse because after we recorded our last episode there was another direct. But we broke the curse again because there was another direct. There's been two directs since we last recorded. And the most recent one was like just a couple days ago, so...
I love because, like, we obviously, behind the scenes, we recorded that episode one day later than usual. And when I was like, we can record it tomorrow, like, we'll even break the curse. And then literally, like, within, like, 3 days, we're like, well, okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So we will get to that direct in a moment. But first, we'll talk about the financials, because this is the first holiday season of the Nintendo Switch 2. So over the holiday period, which is from October, November, and December, the Switch sold 7 million units, which is quite a large amount. It's only like very slightly below what the Switch 1 did in its first holiday period, which when you combine the fact that the Switch 2 already had an insane amount of units sold before that, is a really, really wild showing. So to date, the Switch 2 has sold 17.37 million Switch 2 consoles, by far the fastest selling console of all time. I think it's like 15 million of those are sold through to customers, so there's like a good 2 million like in warehouses and at retailers and stuff, so it should be very well stocked up for the foreseeable future, which is good when there's, all the component shortages and high prices thanks to shit AI.
How many of these are being used by data centers to train AI though?
Is it cheaper to buy a Switch 2 and take the RAM out than it is to buy RAM?
Honestly, it might be.
Good question.
That'd be incredible.
But yeah, we have a couple other things as well. Kirby Air Riders sold 1.76 million units. More than half of that was in Japan. Japan really went wild for Kirby Air Riders.
Did you say Kirby Air Riders sold 7 million?
No, 1.76.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, okay.
If it sold 7 million, that would be crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what
Totally.
the heck? Okay, all right, never mind. 1 million though, that's still...
That's way more than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Although the majority of those being in Japan is on brand.
Yeah, it's about 900,000 were in Japan, and then the rest were,
Everywhere else.
The Switch 2 version of Pokemon Legends ZA did 3.89 million, but that's a weird situation due to the way that Nintendo counts Switch 2 copies. So if you buy a Switch 2 edition digitally, it counts as a Switch 1 sale. It's a weird, stupid situation where, like, technically the Switch 2 version, the Switch 2 edition is the Switch 1 game, and also you bought some DLC with it, because that's just the way that they want to count it, I guess. So we don't know exactly how many people play the Switch 2. What we do know is that, like, the physical copies of the Switch 2 edition of Pokemon Legends ZA did 3.89 mil. Mario Kart World continues to sell, because of course it does. They added another 4.46 million, and it's now at 14.03 million, so there's only like 3 million. I mean, there's really only like 1 million people who have a Switch 2 but don't have Mario Kart World, if we talk about sell-through. So, yeah. Kind of wild.
If that ratio stays as well, that's going to be insane.
Yeah. It will probably like drop off a little bit, but I think it's going to do better than Mario Kart 8 did over time.
I guess it depends on if they actually stop doing the Mario Kart bundle. I know they said they would, but will they?
Well, they're not producing it anymore. So whatever
Yeah, but like there's nothing stopping them from just like slapping a code in a box as well, right? Like,
oh, totally.
Yeah. And yeah, they're not producing it, but it also like hasn't sold out, and they stopped producing it 1 million years ago. So
yeah. Pokemon Legends on Switch 1 did 8.41 million, so it's like on 13-ish million overall, I think they said. Oh, my light's just flickered, that's good. Mario Galaxy
Your neighbor
did-
stealing your power with the solar.
Mario Galaxy did 2.5 million, and Metroid Prime 4 did not sell 1 million in the 26 days it was on sale. Kind of. We know that the Switch 1 version physical, the Switch 2 version physical, and the Switch 1 version and Switch 1 and 2 digital didn't individually sell 1 million. But together they are over 1 million, so it's somewhere between 1 and 2 million copies it has sold, which is not surprising. Metroid doesn't sell. Metroid Prime sells even worse, so yeah, whatever. Importantly, in the Q&A we saw that like Nintendo has it doesn't anticipate a price rise for this or ideally next financial year, so at least until the end of this year we probably won't see a price rise on the Switch 2. But beyond that, it's anyone's game. I think it's possible that it could happen in the future.
Nobody anticipates the price rise.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll be very surprised if they don't.
I think it helps at least that the Switch 2 is not using like, you know,
Cutting edge RAM.
DDR6 memory. Like it's LPDDR5. So
Realistically, cutting edge anything. Let's be real.
Yeah. But you know that helped a lot with the Switch 1 manufacturing throughout COVID. Like the fact that they were using older equipment certainly helped. So I imagine, yeah, it will be better guarded against it compared to something like the PlayStation and Xbox, but not entirely. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
I guess it depends on how much capacity they've pre-bought realistically, which is probably quite a bit. Like it's Nintendo, that's how they roll. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
It's crazy to me that Metroid Prime 4, I guess it's not crazy. It just didn't sell like, you know, more than 1 million copies in that time, considering that for a long time it's been kind of overhyped as like, you know, the Jesus of Metroid games, up until around the time that it actually finally got revealed, when people were just kind of like, oh, okay. But then comparing it to Metroid Dread, which as of December 2022, according to Wikipedia, it sold about 3.07 million copies. So that's about a year and a bit after it released. And that makes it the best-selling Metroid game.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread of all. So I think it goes to show that, like, I don't know, there was just way too much of a space of time between Metroid Primes, for starters. The game's interest really kind of fizzled once I believe the game's interest kind of fizzled not long after it was revealed. Then when it came out, some people kind of praised the way that it looked and the graphics and things like that, but then reviews seemed really quite split as to whether people really liked it or really didn't like it. Whereas side-scrolling Metroid games seem to really be where the fans are at this point. I think if they want to do a first-person Metroid game, they've just really got to ditch Metroid Prime at this point. Old game is old. The series, you know, ended its trilogy 20 years ago. Just do something completely different, I feel.
I don't necessarily think it's a problem with Prime, like itself. I think this particular game is just cursed. Like, they're really just, you know, it didn't have a good development time.
But in saying that, I feel like this has to be the death knell of Prime at this point. I haven't played the game. I have no idea how it ends, but I could not see them investing time and money in making a Metroid Prime 5 at this point. Because when is it going to come out, for starters? Who's going to make it?
I think, I don't know. Retro previously spoke about like how they didn't have the staff to do this, and now that they are staffed up, they can continue making games at this scale for a while. I think the way that things change is that the director or producer, I can't remember which one he is, Tanabe is...
It was the producer of the series.
Yeah. Is stepping down. He's no longer making games. So we sort of know that a lot of the development troubles didn't necessarily come from him, but like were resolved by him in a way. He spoke about how the story wasn't shaping up the way that he wanted it to be. So, you know, he ended up taking over writing duties, and he said in his interview that he probably shouldn't have done that because he thinks that it ended up with a worse story than what it could have been if they'd taken the time to do that. So I think we're in a really interesting position where like the series can change. I think it was like very much trapped in the past of what Tanabe wanted it to be. But yeah, I think that Prime as we know it probably isn't going to be much of a thing anymore. But I also think that this shouldn't have been called Prime 4. I think it should have just been Metroid Prime Beyond and start a whole new thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
I just feel like the Prime series is so locked in time. Like it was just that one little capsule of a saga that they had, and it was that. It's also just chronologically, it's in that really weird place in the Metroid series where it's right between 1 and 2. Super Metroid, one of those two, where the Metroids are pretty much dead at this point. Nintendo kind of shot themselves in the foot 30 years ago by making it somewhere all the last Metroid in captivity is now dead. And they've still got a series called Metroid, and they're still trying to sort of figure out what they're doing with it. And like the other games have done well with continuing that story, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Metroid Prime is just in a really weird pocket within the chronology of the series that it just has to kind of break out from that period.
It also doesn't help that Beyond doesn't actually specify anything about where it sits in the timeline. So it's like, does this take place 6 months after Prime 3, or does this take place 6 months before Dread? Like, there's literally no way of knowing.
Well, that's the thing, is that they kind of have to, right? Like they've written so much of the story in between games that like they can't really be super specific about what happens when, because you're kind of like bumping up on
oh no, I know that
elsewhere in the series.
I totally get that. What I'm saying is, because they've got this ambiguity about where this game sits, like is it before Metroid 2? Is it before Super Metroid? Is it before Dread? Like, where does this sit in the thing? And if it's after Dread, then it's like, where the fuck did all these other Metroid come from? Because we know how that endgame ends. We know there are no more Metroids apart from one, which I won't say just in case people haven't played Dread and I don't want to spoil it for them. It's just this weird thing. So I don't know. I personally think they lost a lot of people when they were like, you can use psychic powers to open doors, and everyone was like, Metroid, you shoot doors to open them. You don't need anything else. And then when the game released, apart from like 3 doors, I think every other door in the game I had to shoot to open anyway. It was just a weird thing.
So it's interesting, like in terms. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna, despite all this, like Metroid Prime 4 will probably end up being the best-selling Metroid Prime game, if only because it was released very early in the Switch dude's life and will continue to sell for quite some time. Like the bar is 2 million copies sold, which is what Metroid Prime 1 sold. So
well, I have the numbers here as well.
Eventually.
It's 2.86 million apparently, and that's not including the remaster, which is a further 1.36 million on top of that. So, I mean, all up, that's roughly about 4 million, which, apples and oranges, I guess. But it's just interesting that like the best-selling Metroid games are the first one with 3.07 million, and that includes sales of ports, according to this chart that I'm looking at. And Metroid Dread has a similar number, 3.07 million, which is only on Switch, obviously. And then the second best one is Metroid Prime, the original, at 2.86 million on GameCube, which is crazy to think about considering that GameCube's install base was so small. But then after that, what do we have? Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. So, and that's at 1.7 million. So like the series has never sold phenomenally well. It's very, very niche compared to every other Nintendo series out there. But I just feel like Prime itself, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Metroid Prime 2, 1.1 million on GameCube. And then Metroid Prime 3, 1.4 million on Wii. So that's only 300,000 more. And Wii's install base was enormous. And even that failed to sort of crack the shell.
I just realized, I just worked out how they could make the best-selling Metroid game of all time. So, Metroid Maker. It's just Super Mario Maker, but with the different 2D or different side-scrolling Metroid looks.
Metroid 99. 99 Samus is just trying to kill one Metroid. Or 99 Metroid.
I don't need another 99 game that just gets destroyed by Nintendo 2 months after it launches. Thanks.
Man, no joke. No, I've mentioned it. I can't remember if I mentioned it on the podcast or not or something, but like, why isn't there like almost like a Star Fox game or something where there are some like, some first-person adventure-y bits, but then you jump in Samus's ship and just go and blast some dudes in space? Like, how many games have we had with Samus in it and we do not control her ship?
Why Samus's ship? You psycho?
Yeah, I know, right? She just jumps
in
and
to
recharges.
emerge out of.
It's just nuts. She's got like some of the coolest ship designs, and we don't touch the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a motorcycle, and then she can't get off of it.
It's also possible too with I think it's Tanabe with the producer resigning from Nintendo and like leaving and retiring and all that. It's entirely possible that now one of the new generation, if you will, of folks at Nintendo will sort of not take up the mantle, but take up Metroid and sort of say, okay, what can we do? You know, will they now be able to give it its sort of its Breath of the Wild moment where they take what we know about the series but redo something else completely?
Well, I don't know. Like Nintendo hasn't touched a Metroid game since what, the Super Metroid? Maybe was the last actually Nintendo developed one.
I mean,
All the others have been someone else.
Retro is Nintendo, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, but they were bought by Nintendo like 10 years ago. They weren't.
The Zero
It's a
Mission
lot
on
more than
GBA
10
was
years
Nintendo.
Well, you just said yourself that they've only just been staffing up in the last recent years to make this game. Like, I wouldn't say that. I would argue that it's not Nintendo specifically because they're based out in like Texas or something, aren't they? They're not in Japan. So, did you say Metroid Zero Mission, Luke?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zero Mission was done by Nintendo internally.
Right. So yeah, even that's like 20 something years ago. So
yeah. Oh, I'm not saying that it has to be Nintendo doing it, but I'm thinking like with we've seen a few games where like Mario Odyssey had that sort of they took what they knew Mario to be, but they put a fresh spin on a lot of things, and Zelda did that with Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom, and Donkey Kong really had that as well with Bonanza. It's like is Metroid the next sort of game to get that not reboot, but like, okay, what are the core parts of this series? What do we need to keep? What can we do differently?
Nah, Nintendo doesn't care about Metroid, unfortunately. They'll throw a bone out to the fans every now and again, but it just doesn't make enough money for
Unfortunately, like that's what this game should have been, but it just got development cycle held, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, we know again from that interview that like they had to recycle a lot of stuff, not assets, but like the scope of the game and stuff. Like they recycled a lot of stuff from when it was in development at Bandai Namco Singapore. So like it was kind of doomed from the get-go.
I mean, come April this year, we could have the Bandai Namco Singapore or the Singapore Nintendo studio take over again too for a new Metroid game.
Anything can happen now.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the first direct that happened immediately after we recorded. So yeah, straight after we recorded last time, there was a Tomodachi Life direct about Tomodachi Life living the dream. So they gave a bunch of things. I actually haven't watched this. Sorry, let's just pause for a second while we talk about this thing that Angelo has.
What's going on?
Oh, it just says that Michael is playing Ace Attorney on my Discord. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, okay, it's a thing now where it's like it's not actually what they're doing right now. It's just stuff that they've done recently. Hold on,
Oh my god, really?
Because this is what I've got at the top
Getting
of the
fucking
feed for
outed by.
Yeah, right.
But you've played Phoenix Wright, Team Fortress 2
Oh, wow.
Classified,
Cool.
and Dispatch.
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry, we didn't need
correct.
to stop the podcast. I just thought it was
I mean,
funny.
clearly we did. This is very important information that all of our listeners need to know.
I thought Ollie's point was going to be I got to stop this and ask who actually watched the Tomodachi Life Direct.
No. All right, Tomodachi Life Direct. So I didn't watch this. Just
Neither did I.
Together.
I
saw
unfortunately
bits and
did,
pieces.
and holy shit, what a fucking fever dream this
just
direct was.
I just clicked play and then looked at the timestamp. It is 53 minutes long. What?
Yeah, but the first like
Oh,
25
no,
minutes
yeah,
of that
it's
is that
the-
countdown shit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. So 30
they do the
minutes
dumb
then.
thing where they don't actually trim the video.
Yeah.
Which is weird because
Oh my
they
God.
did it for the Direct. They did it for the recent one. But yeah, we'll get to that.
Anyway, I didn't watch it, but I have seen all of the details and seen everything shared across social media a bunch. So this is the first title from Nintendo that has inclusive gender options. So as when you're creating a character, you can create a male, female, or non-binary character. This is the first time that Nintendo has explicitly said the word non-binary in any video game. And you can also do that with love interest as well. So like when you're creating a Mii, you can say like, because this is a life sim, kind of like The Sims or whatever, you can say this person is into men, women, non-binary people, any combination or none of them, which is really good. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Mii creation stuff. you can draw pets, and then they appear in the world as like weird little flat guys. Um, yeah, and you can basically redecorate your entire island. Some of the stuff that I've seen is just bonkers. Again, I didn't watch it, but I've seen people posting stuff about it, and yeah, it is just just bonkers. You can shape your island however you want to, decorate it however you want to. There's even like you can like draw the specific tiles that will like be the textures for buildings. Um, it does look just nuts. I hope a lot of this stuff gets brought over to Animal Crossing in the future, because I think that that's going to be.
That's the thing that makes me, when I saw all this decoration stuff, not the pet thing, because if you see the one screenshot that put out for the pets, like you do like kids do like cartoon drawings of a dog. That's what pops up in the game is like your dog that you draw, and it's like it just looks weird. But yeah, everything to do with customization of the island and everything. This is what Animal Crossing New Horizons should have been. It should have gone like full on for like this is doing, but just shows Nintendo can do it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's coming out on April 16, on Switch. One, we don't know anything really about Switch 2 details apart from also playable on Switch 2.
Which is a bonkers thing at the moment. Like, what? You have a new console?
I presume it'll be enhanced on Switch 2, but like they're not going to add any specific features or whatever, just because this is the bone that they're throwing to Switch 1 players who don't want to upgrade. Like this and Rhythm Heaven are like, don't worry, we're definitely still doing Switch games. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, that will fade this year, very much so.
They're not doing Switch 1 or Switch 2 games, it seems, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I think, so having watched this, like, there was a few of us chatting about it when the direct was going on, and I had this realization moment about what the hell was going on, where the Japanese, European, and North American streams are all hyper-localized. Yeah. And I was like, everyone's talking about a name of guy. I can't remember what his fucking name is, Hugh something. I was like, who the fuck is this Hugh guy people keep talking about? I was watching the AU stream, I think, which would have been the EU stream. And I think the clown character, which is what Hugh was just named something like Bozo or whatever. I'm like, what is happening? I don't think it needed to be localized that intensely. Like, that's a really weird step to take for this game specifically, to hyperlize it in 3 separate ways. And I don't even think that's the only detail. Like, I think there's more details.
There's heaps more. Like the designs that they show and everything are like different across all the regions. Yeah. Which they put a lot of effort into that. I get it. Like, being able to show that customization like on a meta level is kind of funny. Like, to be like, oh, there's so much customized stuff that we even customized the trailer for our game. Like, that's kind of funny. So this game is still in the Nintendo Switch Online voucher program. So if you have one of those lying around because you bought them before they were removed, you can get one of those. Use one of those on this. I mean, this game isn't for me. The first game wasn't really for me either, but it's like a little life sim kind of thing, and that's a popular genre. I think the original game sold a lot better than anyone thinks it did.
I remember
it's going to be big in Japan for sure.
Yeah, a thing with the first game is you making me say dirty words.
Yeah,
which Nintendo apparently going to sort of clamp down a bit on some stuff this time, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, there's like there's sharing thing, like you can't share Mii's online anymore, which a bit of a bummer, but I totally understand it.
I mean, if they wanted to put Street Pass back on put it on the Switch, this would be the game to do that with.
I love that we're in 2026, 20 years after, or almost 20 years after the Wii launched, and we like Mii's are still alive and kicking at least. I do love Mii's.
Yeah, and they haven't updated the like feature set of Mii's, have they? Like, they're still the same face options and head options.
They added a few more, but it's still like 88% the same as what it was.
Yeah, they added a couple options. Like, there's like slightly different hairstyles. So, like, glasses and stuff weren't necessarily expansive on the Wii, but they are a little bit more expensive now. I think with each iteration of me, we get like slightly more, but I mean, with this, you can go nuts with it. So
I will say I do think it's hilarious that there's the get help option. Like if you don't know how to create a me, it'll ask you a bunch of questions and then create one for you. And it's like, seriously, the like 7 options for creating a me and you don't know what to do.
Oh, remember when the Wii you could put in a photo and it would just generate a me based on that? It always looked terrible.
Wasn't that the 3DS that did that?
I was a 3DS. Sorry, using the camera. You're right.
Yeah, because I remember face readers. But I also think it's just hilarious that Ollie mentioned about the Sims being there, and I've just realised that me's and Sims is essentially the same word, just rearranged letters.
it's true. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it looks lovely. It's again not my kind of game. I don't vibe too much with life sims. But it looks fun.
I just love when Nintendo gets weird.
Yeah, that's
like, it
always
may
at
not
the
be for
line.
us, but I really appreciate that it's there, and I love that people
Yeah.
love it. Like,
And this is like on the weird spectrum quite far.
it's so good. I love it.
Alrighty, a couple of news things before we get to the big direct. I mean, this will surprise absolutely nobody, but WWE 2K26 is coming to Switch too in March. Has the same modes and features as all the other platforms, which, again, expected, but it also has mascot support for drawing on characters and creating tattoos and stuff, and a game share of some kind. We don't know what it does. But
Are these screenshots from Switch 2?
No, well, they're not platform. They're platform agnostic screenshots. The actual eShop listing does have Switch 2 screens, and they look fairly similar.
Okay.
These were sent out originally before the game was announced, so they don't put platforms in those sort of batches when they send them out because they don't want to be like, oh, this is the PlayStation version, and then Nintendo sites go, well, we're not going to put those up there if they're PlayStation screens, so they're agnostic for that reason.
And yeah, this is the first WWE game to launch on a Nintendo platform the same day as other platforms since 2012. And
We did it, guys.
apparently the thing you've been waiting for as a Nintendo fan is day and date WWE games.
The last one so Switch 2 got WWE 2K25 last year. Obviously, that came months after the console launched. But the only other one that Switch got was 2017, and that launched in December of that year. And then the other platforms got that in October. But yeah,
It's
the
also
last time.
in such a poor condition that they just never bothered to do anything ever again.
Correct. I think I still have a copy of 17. I think I picked it up for like $18 or something at Target. But what I find funny is the fact that CM Punk was on the last cover of the last WWE game that launched on a Nintendo platform and the others at the same time, and he's now this one as well. So
this game has like a bigger focus on the Attitude Era of WWE, which I think is just them playing to nostalgia, because like a lot of people our age probably who are into WWE got into it during that era, which was like 1996 to 2003-ish.
yeah,
so
they have 4 editions of the game: Standard, King of Kings, Attitude Era, and Monday Night War. And the Attitude Era includes the pack, which includes The Rock, his 99 version. I'm not going to read them all, but Stone Cold Steve Austin, Battlestar. So, like, lovely, but they're all in the game anyway. You've just put in, like, a younger version of the same character.
Yeah, but I mean, that's, again, it's playing to nostalgia. It's like, oh, remember this guy that was in your childhood? He's here exactly as he was then. Like, they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, totally. But yeah, what's stupid as it's a 2K thing, the fact that there's 4 versions of the same game. The standard edition is $120, but that's perfectly fine. But Donkey Kong at 110 is killing it.
Is it though?
It's perfectly fine.
Is it?
No. The audience doesn't care about the fact that 2K is charging $120, but Nintendo does it, and all of a sudden it's the end of the world.
Do they? I'm pretty sure they do as well. Like,
I think it's shit for everyone involved, honestly.
It is. But what's annoying is you can get the game 7 days earlier if you pay 160, 200, or 230, depending on the edition you want to buy. That's the stuff that annoys me.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's wrestling. Wrestling fans will be happy. Non-wrestling fans won't give a shit. We should end every news segment about anything with that. people that are fans of this will enjoy it, and people that aren't won't care.
I do that in my head already.
Apex Legends won't support the Switch anymore. As
That
of
was so
August.
fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. Have you played the
5
Switch
years.
version of Apex Legends? Because it is
No, not a sociopath.
I will freely admit I gave it a go when it launched because I'm like, I wonder how this looks and plays on Switch. It plays okay, but it doesn't look great at all. Like,
It looks
Yeah.
like us.
Luke was mad into it for. Still is, I think. I don't think he
Yeah.
stopped playing it.
He's still into it. He was very excited when the Switch 2 version came out because it meant that he
Yeah.
didn't have to have his PS5 in his office anymore. So, yeah. The Switch 1 version is in August, no longer going to be playable. Season 29 will be the final season for Switch players. When Season 30 arrives, the game just won't be playable anymore. The game does use the EA account, so if you want to switch to another platform or whatever, like you can do that. But currencies and things that you've bought, kind of, things that you've bought specifically with currency purchased on Nintendo Switch, you will kind of have to move over to Switch 2 because the way that it works with content packs and shit, it can't be transferred over. So, I imagine most people that played this game on Switch 1 will continue playing it on Switch 2. But, just be mindful that not all of your stuff will necessarily transfer over. And if you have currency or whatever that you bought on Switch, you should probably spend it before the Switch 1 version goes offline. Because unless you're moving over to Switch 2, in which case it doesn't really matter. But it is available on Switch 2, and is pretty decent on Switch 2 as well. So, smaller story. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff for your dogs. So a company called something that I've forgotten.
Big and Little Dogs.
Big and Little Dogs has come out with this little Pokemon collection for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. You can get collars and harnesses and blankets and bow ties and stuff, all sorts of dog accessories that have Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and or Charmander on them. And you can personalize stuff as well. So if you have a dog and you care about Pokemon, that's a cute option. There's also a whole bunch of other
And
stuff.
they're an Australian company.
Yeah.
So
expect to see a lot more Pokemon stuff. It is the 30th anniversary this year, so just over the next couple of weeks, even, we're going to see tons and tons and tons of Pokemon stuff getting announced. So,
I mean, if you follow any content creators from Japan who do anything theme park or Pokemon related, you're likely seeing a lot of Pokepark, Kanto stuff popping up. So,
but there's that chocolate stuff that was announced just earlier this week.
The Animal Crossing Cross Godiva chocolates.
Yeah, and they will likely have something to do with Pokemon as well down the line. There's all sorts of Pokemon stuff happening all over the place right now, and it's just going to ramp up. Alrighty, and Balloon Kid and Yoshi on the Game Boy, Nintendo Switch Online. So cool.
It's always nice when they just drop games out of nowhere and don't do the whole, next week you'll be able to add this one game to your collection. But it's like I like it when there's a game that I've not played in a long time, like Balloon Kid. But Yoshi, I'm pretty sure the NES version of Yoshi's in the app already. In the NES apps, this probably was the worst game to sort of just throw in as by the by, it's already here. It's I feel if they just put Super Mario Brothers, the GBA. You remember the old GBA NES collection of games they were doing? It's if they put that in there and go, this is the same game you played here, but it's okay. The whole point with that was it looked like old NES cartridges and stuff color-wise. But yeah, I don't know. It's just stupid. Stupid to me. So.
Alrighty. So the second direct in between episodes. This was a 30-minute long Nintendo Direct partner showcase. So no first-party stuff, but a bunch of third-party stuff. Just so much of it. I guess we'll just start at the top and work our way down. Orbitals. This is something that Michael is very excited about, and so am I.
I'm so excited
Orbitals
about
looks-
I think
this.
everyone in this
Everyone,
show
yeah,
is
we're
excited, which is
all
why I
excited
made
about it.
sure.
Everyone except Angelo, who very specifically said he does not want to play this game.
I made sure to put this at the top because I knew everyone was excited about it. The fact that it also opened the show, like
Yeah.
it was just in the Game Awards and caught everyone off guard. So Nintendo obviously saw the
Such a
reaction
vibe.
and was like, "Hey, let's put this in there because you know we're cool. We know what people want."
The funny thing is that every screen of this game that I look at looks AI generated. But then you watch the game in motion, you're like, thank God this is an actual real video game. That's just how high fidelity. It's a shame that I'm saying this high fidelity comparing it to AI generated stuff. But like, there's a lot of that. I remember when like a lot of people were jumping into AI image generators, and they were doing like anime versions of thing, and they would look like that. And some of them actually look kind of cool as a concept, but then you realize it's AI, and it's like, no, this sucks. Just because it exists. But then I look at this game in particular, and the fact that people made this and spent so much time doing it, and then it looks like a legitimate 1970s anime. It's just so cool.
What was that game? It was you were like the knight, and there was the girl in the dungeon and the dragons. It was an animated one from like the 80s or 90s.
Oh, it's like King's Quest, no, something Quest.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember
It's
the
the
name.
arcade. You're thinking of the arcade game, right? The hand-drawn animated
Dragon's
one.
Lair.
Dragon's Lair, that's it.
There's stuff in here when they're running, and I'm like, this gives me Dragon's Lair vibes. Like when you see them running on the screen, I'm like, it just reminds me of Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think this looked very good. It looked good last time we saw it as well. But yeah, they showed off more co-op gameplay. How you can help each other to get across hazards, and yeah, it looked really, really good. It's a platformer mostly, but there's like other stuff as well. They even have like arcade style games to break up it. I mean, it's basically like 70s anime. It Takes Two or Split Fiction, and I'm so on board for that exact concept.
I like how in one of the scenes in the trailer, one of them's got a heat gun, they're melting a beam, and the other's got like a grappling hook and they're pulling it down. And as I say this, it's above my screen, above my head. And they're like, oh, you can find new ways to get through the environment. Like, I guarantee you can't find new ways. I guarantee you it's like they've got these specific items at this specific time for that reason. I do like to in the trailer as I'm playing it, they're showing game share. So if you've got a Switch too, and your partner or friend only has a Switch still, you can still play the game together, which I think is kind of cool.
Does it have an online game share? Do we know?
I don't recall seeing if it does or not. I don't know.
Fair enough. But yeah, so this is coming out at some point in the winter, so middle of the yearish, which is exciting. It looks really good, and I think we're all going to have a lot to say about it when it comes out. But that is a while away.
Not me, apparently.
To be fair, Angelo, we'll have a lot to say of it when it comes out. You'll have a lot to say of it 18 months from now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, everyone knows I hate anime games, and this is literally an anime game, so...
I mean, if you don't like anime games, there was an entire section of this direct you wouldn't like.
There's an entire section of most direction that I just tune out of.
Yeah, but they called this section an amazing.
Yeah,
because they're all anime-based
right.
games.
Actually, like, call it out. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That got a release date as previously announced. So this is coming out on May 12. Yeah, coming out digitally and physically at the same time. And it's actually going to be on a real game cartridge, not a game key card, which is wild.
1 second before we move on to Indiana Jones. In the trailer, it does say that game share is required for game share, so I'm assuming you can do it online.
All right.
You mean game chat is required for game share?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yes.
I thought he said game share is required for game share.
Oh, sorry. Whatever I said, I meant game chat. Yes, so you can play online.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for Indie on Switch too. Mostly because it looks far better than I expected it to.
It really does.
I mean it shouldn't come as a surprise. Machine Games is nuts with their engine and the way that they implement stuff. So, like, we've seen the stuff that they did on Switch, and that was really impressive. So,
what's even weirder is that
again,
it's a
are these
version of
screenshots from Switch 2?
Yeah,
They are.
Switch 2
Damn.
screenshots.
That's impressive as hell.
Yeah,
I can look
the
at the
way-
trailer, but I've not seen screens from it. That looks really good.
Yeah. The Switch, the engine itself is a modified version of the id Tech engine that Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages runs on. So
Yeah.
I will point out too,
scalable.
in the Resident Evil stuff and then in all the indie stuff, nobody ever shoots anybody in a direct, and people were like calling out the people who captured the footage as being bad for playing games, completely forgetting
No,
that
it's
this is
just
Nintendo.
a Nintendo thing, yeah. It was very funny watching the Resident Evil trailer and like watching like Leon like line up a sniper shot and then just like going off to the side and shooting the ground. It's so good. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, indie, May 12. Super Bomberman Collection. This actually came out already. So this is from Konami, who has been killing it with the collections lately. And includes Super Bomberman 1 to 5, which 2 of those have never been released before outside of Japan. Also includes the NES games Bomberman and Bomberman 2, which also never released outside of Japan. There is a physical release happening for all platforms at a later date. And if you're going to buy this, buy the Switch version and then upgrade to Switch 2. There's a weird pricing discrepancy where it's actually cheaper to buy the Switch version and then upgrade than it is to buy the Switch 2 version. It's just the way that they've done.
It's
the
only like
original
$4 or
pricing.
$5, but it's like it's $4 or $5 back in your pocket. So
Yeah. They also announced a Goemon collection in Japan, but it may or may not leave Japan. We'll see. But
I don't think I think only one of the games in that collection ever released outside of Japan initially. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Konami did say that the Super Bomberman 4 and 5, which never left Japan, they actually translated those for this collection.
Yeah,
So it's not like when
same
Nintendo.
with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. They translated a bunch of stuff that was in that. So
Yeah.
um,
So
yeah,
I don't know if
Super
they
Bomberman.
translate a whole bunch of old Goemon games. So
Super Bomberman 4 and 5 are fucking amazing. So enjoy.
Well, just on top of this, like in both cases of Bomberman and Mystical Ninja, they really should release collections of the N64 versions from both series. That would absolutely slap so hard.
that's what the
Mystical Ninja
second
games.
collection's for.
Well, let's hope so, because like the Mystical Ninja games on N64 obviously S tier, but then Bomberman 64 is still really really good. Bomberman Adventures are both really really good. Should really bring those back out.
Yeah. So yeah, I've heard very, very positive things about this from people who picked it up. People having an absolute blast and saying that it's I mean, it's a bunch of ROMs in an emulator, but nonetheless.
Having a blast.
Yeah.
With the Bomberman game.
I will say I did reach out to Konami for a code, and they said this has been far more popular than we expected. Like, okay,
Was that a yes or a no?
I don't know. That's what I got told. I haven't got a code, so I assume they mean no. But yeah, I think it's funny that it's announced and out, whereas with some of the other ones, like with the Castlevanias and the Gradius and that, they announced them and sort of built hype for a few weeks before they released them. So
something that was semi-expected. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So this remake just came out like a couple weeks ago. I did the review for that. It's a very, very good port. Rebirth now is coming in June, on June 3rd. It's very obvious that Square Enix plans to launch Part 3 on every console same day and date. So they are just ramping up to make sure everybody has done this. Obviously, it's coming to Xbox as well, not just Switch 2. The pre-orders are live now. It's 102 gigabytes on Switch 2, which is a lot.
What part 1 ended up at? Part 1's about 100 gig, 90 something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 90.
Yeah.
You could buy a 256 gigabyte micro SD Express card, and you wouldn't get the third game on that alongside parts 1 and 2.
Or you could buy no SD card and not have room for any other game when you're Switch 2.
I'm sure you could probably fit the Bomberman collection in there.
I think that's like 600 megabytes, so
Yeah.
probably.
The retail release comes with an exclusive Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering card featuring Zack. it's also considerably cheaper than the game has been on PS5, and the PS5 and PC versions are getting a price drop to match the lower price. And all of the boost mode stuff that they added in Remake is being added to Rebirth as well, so you can level up faster or just like do max damage or start the game at level 40 or whatever.
I love like all the boost stuff. You can just basically turn game off. Like
Yeah.
it just becomes a movie.
Did they release the Zack game on Switch as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
cool.
VII
Crisis Core.
Ever Crisis? Crisis Core, that's it.
Yeah,
Ever
right, there
Crisis
you
is
go.
the mobile one.
Yeah. So cool. All right. So yeah, all the stars are here on Switch.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, this looked reasonably good in the trailer. I think there are obviously drawbacks. There were always going to be drawbacks, but I mean, given that this game is like Steam Deck verified, I mean, it was always going to be at least playable on Switch 2, and I think with DLSS, it looks kind of good.
I think I saw a lot of people giving this game shit. They go, "Oh, this doesn't look as good as the first one." It's like, yeah, but the first one was a PS4 game that was upscaled to PS5. This is PS5 originally, so
Also, like
This game
the first one,
doesn't
like,
look good on PS5, so
exactly.
everyone can't be farm.
Like
I mean,
this is essentially the performance. Like what we've seen from the trailer is essentially just like docked mode at 30 FPS is the same as the performance 60 FPS mode on PS5. So like it doesn't look great, but it looks no worse than how most people probably played, Rebirth on PS5. So
I didn't put it in the run sheet, but Digimon they're getting a 1080p 60 frames per second mode on Switch too.
yeah,
which is
that
not
was
on the
very
PS5
funny
version.
because Digimon Time Stranger doesn't have a 60 FPS mode on PS5 and Xbox, but it is gonna have one on Switch too. So I don't know what they're doing there, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, Rebirth is a phenomenal game, but it is also extremely long. So being able to play this in bed is gonna make it a lot more playable for me personally. But yeah. Anyone have anything else to say on Rebirth before we move on?
That looks good.
I will just point out the old thing that the Xbox version is not getting a retail release here because Bandai Namco who do the
I'm
Square Enix
shocked.
stuff. Yeah. So this thing it'll be on disc elsewhere, but just Bandai Namco Australia, who do Square Enix in Australia, they don't bring Xbox games in for anything that's not their first party or Elden Ring. I don't know
Why
why.
would they even put it on shelves? It's not like EB is exactly showing off Xbox games at the moment.
That is 100% true.
I mean, is EV even selling games? Really?
Well,
They sell
are,
them,
but
they
they're
just
selling a
don't
lot
promote
less
them.
in terms of Xbox games compared to everything else.
Yeah, not selling video games, they're selling other games.
Yeah.
Alright, Turok Origins is coming to Switch 2 at some point in 2026. So this game was announced at the Game Awards 2024, and we've seen basically nothing since. This is the first time we've seen actual gameplay and mechanics. So you can play it solo with 2 other players, and you can switch between first and third person perspective. If you want to play other Turok games, they're available in the N64 app and the very good Night Dive remasters as well. Yeah, and this is being developed by Save Interactive.
Unapologetically hate this fucking logo.
It
It looks bad. I don't know what it like. There's something about the I as the O just looks awful.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the worst logo I've seen, but it doesn't feel like old school Turok. Even the Disney one from 7 years ago, even that one had a decent looking logo. The game itself sucked, but the logo was decent. So.
yeah. I mean, I have basically zero attachment to this. I never played any Turok game, so
It's like, does anyone?
And I
I
played the
like Turok.
original on N64 when it came out because I hired it and I could not play it at all. It barely ran on an N64 and the control screen was absolute ass backwards.
You only see 30 centimeters in front of you at any particular time.
Yeah. Turok 2 was the one that sort of Turok original
Yeah.
Dinosaur Hunter was fine, but Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, that was the good one.
Yeah. Turok 2 in that black cart, 4-player multiplayer, cerebral bore only, just fucking everybody up. It was amazing.
I still
Actually, I
remember
remember-
when.
Like on.
Okay, I was gonna say I still remember because I was selling them at the time when Turok Evolution hit on GameCube and PS2 and all that, and for whatever reason, this is before Acclaim went under. The games were down to like $15 all the time, and then they were always on sale. And I remember selling like 10 copies a week of Turok Evolution on all the platforms for like $10 a pop. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, damn.
I remember playing the demo for the 2008 one on, I think it was Xbox 360, maybe PS3. I think it was Xbox. I don't remember anything about the demo at all. I just remember that I played it. And yeah, that's me with Turok.
Fair enough.
There's also
Angelo, I remember I played it.
There is another Turok game that I didn't put in the list. They're saying that's not there because it's some chibi-fied isometric game, and it's like that's not Turok. Nothing wrong with them making that game, but it's like if Mario Kart all of a sudden was like not a kart racer, but it was like shopping carts pushing around a supermarket, and they called it Mario Kart. It's like that's not Mario Kart. So.
Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition comes out in just a couple of weeks on February 24. We heard about this game last year, and yeah, it's coming out digitally on February 24. Physical release is happening on April 28, but it's a code in a box, so just buy it digitally. Why would you bother waiting?
The fact that it's code in a box, not even game key card, just a literal piece of paper in the box. It's like that's why bother with that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is just the end game of everyone complaining about game key cards. Like, if everyone complains about game key cards, things are just going to come out on codes, which I don't care either way, like, whatever. At this point, I think the physical market for Switch 2 is a little bit cooked. But it's just the end game.
Yeah. So yeah, it includes, obviously the main game, all 6 expansions of the game, and 150 Creation Club pieces of content. It's a little over 60 gigabytes, which is roughly the same size as Indiana Jones, but they didn't put this on the game key card. But yeah, I thought this was really funny because I saw people being like, "Wow, it looks so bad on Switch 2," and I was like, "Nah, man, that's just how the game looks."
Yeah, it does look bad. I think the one thing I will say that is probably degraded on Switch 2 is the lighting. Like, the lighting looks super off.
There was one part in the start of the trailer where the character's walking through the city. And then he's walking downstairs and stuff, and there's the telephone poles and all that on the ground. Probably about 14 seconds into the trailer. The actual proper trailer, not the 3 Bethesda games that's in the story. And you can just see the jankiness of all the shadows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I saw that and I went, oh, that doesn't look that great. But again, Fallout 4 didn't look beautiful when it first launched anyway. And when they did this anniversary edition, they didn't like remaster it. They just lumped in all the existing content and called it a day. So, yeah.
This will sell.
It's the same with Valheim. People were like, "Wow, the Switch 2 version looks so shit." And I was like, "The game just looks shit. Like that's how it looks on every platform."
I think
it looks
the one piece
shitter on Switch 2, but I mean,
I think the fair criticism of Valheim is it looks super soft. Like it's definitely running at a lower res and just getting upscaled. But like, I remember the game when it came out. Gosh, it was long ago. I think it's much better now. That it was reasonably hard to run for like how crap the game was. Like it does some crazy like voxel shit. I think in the back end, there's a ton of maths going on. So
yeah,
I think creation engine, baby.
Oh no, this is but yeah, so it's whatever. I don't really care to play Fallout 4 because I think it's the least interesting of the modern Fallout games. So a new one, kind of, not really. Adventures of Elliot. It's new-ish. It's gonna be new on Switch too. June 18 is when Adventures of Elliot comes out. Yeah, what were you saying, Michael?
Everyone remember it existed when the trailer dropped in the direct?
No, I've been keeping this for ages. I think the first demo was like really solid, and this looks like they've
it's not necessarily that it's bad. Like I actually think it's probably going to be quite good. It's more the fact that I think it just dropped off everyone's radar like completely, and then it came back. I'm like, oh yeah, this game exists.
It is called The Adventures of Elliot, which I think is like the stupidest name they probably could have picked for it. It does not stick in your brain.
The thing that stuck in people's brains from when the first reveal trailer happened is the town he was from is called Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and people just stuck with that. So
Yeah. So this is kind of an HD 2D Zelda-ish kind of game. It's an action RPG, and you can go across 4 different time periods, which is a little bit, chrono triggery.
And I was gonna say Zelda, but Zelda's to the Dark World.
Yeah. This is kind of chrono triggerish. So you've got like the main one, which is the Age of Safekeeping, and you've got the Age of Reconstruction, where humans are barely around. Humanity's height of prosperity is the Age of Magic, and then the Age of Budding, which is the birth of human civilization. There's a collector's edition, but you should not buy it. It's super expensive, and it's not available in the local Square Enix store. So, anywhere you buy it, it's a game key card. So, yeah. Also, the collector's edition looks kind of shit. Let's be real.
It comes with like a figurine.
The statue is not great.
No, if it came with like an Elliot statue standing in front of it or something, sure.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think is interesting is that it comes with like the soundtrack. It's like, okay, you're not just going to sell the soundtrack separately. You're going to put it in a weird collector's edition. That seems.
They'll slap it up on Spotify eventually, anyway. They
Probably.
always do, Square Enix. The demo is still up for this on Switch too, but it does look like they've added a lot more to the game since the demo.
Well, the demo, they said specifically when they launched it, and even now, the eShop listing list, the demo is not a demo of the game, it's a demo of the content ideas of the game.
Yeah.
So.
Are we excited for Elliot?
I think this is probably going to go on to what I was saying. The HD 2D vibe is just my vibe. Like I really love the visual style of it. I think it's the exact opposite of. I think Angelo, do you dislike this vibe? I think from memory.
No. I love the aesthetic. My problem with these ones that Square Enix pumps out is that they're all just to me they just mesh together. They all become the same game. Like I could not tell you the difference between Triangle Strategy, this Diofield Chronicles, Octopath. Like I could not tell you anything about those games that separate them apart from some very minute story things that I've just picked up from trailers. Whereas the Dragon Quest games are different from that because they actually have like, even within the HD2 remake style, they have their own visual aesthetic that makes them look like a Dragon Quest game. Whereas these all just mesh together into one big sort of blob to me. But that's just me.
But I can see Angelo's point of view. If you showed me like 4 screenshots from all different HD 2D games, I guarantee I probably couldn't tell you which ones were from which game.
I feel like I could, but I've also played all of them to 100% completion, so that's maybe just me. I mean, I think this looks great.
I love that they trademarked the name. You shouldn't be worried about someone taking it. Just putting
They've done that with, but Square Enix has done that with all of them, right? They do that with all of their titles and stuff.
Totally.
My favorite
I get it. Obviously, you have to trademark it. Like, I understand from like a legal point of view, but like, I'm just like, no one's taking this. You guys are safe.
Team Astano, who is the one that does most of these games, they have this thing like where they just like put 2 random words together, like Octopath Traveler. My favorite one is Various Day Life, which is a game that is just where you do various things throughout your daily life. And I was like, come on, man, that's a stupid ass name.
Bro, Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, because there's a triangle. And
I wonder if they have like a really expensive internal AI name generator that they name all their games with. It costs like $17 million, and every time they need to title a game, they just hit the button.
My favorite thing is that they always do this stupid thing where they're like, oh, we're announcing Project Triangle Strategy. We'll announce the full name later, and then it's just Triangle Strategy. They did it with Octopath Traveler. Yeah, they do it with a bunch of their stuff, and I was like, okay. But no, Elliot looks really good, so I'm excited for that. The final announcement that was in the show is Oblivion Remastered, which, boy, this launched as a surprise release on other platforms, now coming to a Nintendo platform, has the base game, all the expansions, all the other DLC, etc. There's no release date for this, but it will also be a code in a box release.
You forgot to put the surprising quotes there, Ollie.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knew it was coming because
everyone knew this game was coming for like 3 years, but
yeah. I mean, it looks kind of shit. I don't know if the trailer is just probably an early trailer, but it doesn't look great.
There is so much aliasing in this game.
Yeah.
I remember I mentioned it when we were watching the direct like live in the Vookcast Discord, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like it's just everywhere. You can't look without a shimmer going off.
No, I think the Fallout 4 one looks worse.
I don't know, man. I think this might be worse.
The weird thing is though, this is how it looks on the other
Sorry,
platforms.
visually this is better. Like obviously the game looks better than Fallout 4, but the aliasing specifically is considerably worse.
No, but at least I'm seeing shadows here. Whereas if you watch Fallout, like even the shadows
Yeah,
are
that's
grossly
what I mean.
aliased, and there are just no shadows in some environments.
That's what I'm saying. This game looks better. It's just the aliasing looks way worse. Like it's just a shimmer box every frame.
Yeah. There's also like some screenshots were going around on Blue Sky where like there's like some parts of it where like there's like a monster and like just its face doesn't have textures. It's just like a gray blob, which you know, cool. I mean, it's Bethesda. The game like runs like shit on every other platform, and they kind of just abandoned it and stopped putting out patches for it.
They did a few patches, but
yeah,
like there was this weird. I can't even remember what triggered it. But there was this weird thing where every time I'd go out of like town shops into the town, if it was somewhat nighttime, I'd get like light highlights. You know, like the little specular lights that like shine on things. They would just like amplify continuously. Yeah. So it's like the game broke out in fucking chicken pox, and all of a sudden I couldn't see shit because they were just blinding me. It was such a weird thing. I've got screenshots of it because it was so bizarre of a thing that I'd never seen in any other game before. I killed Angelo.
I've never heard that phrase used like that before. Video game breaking out into chicken pox.
It's if you I'll show you the screens after, but that's how it looks. It looks like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Look, I'm excited for this one. I've said for the longest time for Switch that they should have brought the original Xbox 360 PC release to Switch. Like just ported it across. That would have been fine. So I'm happy that this is coming, but it's like they need to make sure that it runs right, because it runs and looks good. Because if it doesn't do either of those correctly, it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Especially because it's like 120 gig on the other platforms. So
after what they did with Skyrim on Switch 2, I don't have the highest amount of hopes, but we'll see, I guess. I mean, Skyrim on Switch 2
that had a very short development time frame, so I think they just wanted to get it out there. And I think this one they've not dated it because they know they need to get it right.
Other things that were in the Partner Direct that I think are worth bringing up: Paranormasight: The Mermaid's Curse. This is a sequel to one of the best adventure games in recent history. Paranormasight was absolutely phenomenal, and if you're listening relatively close to the launch date of this, sorry, relatively close to the launch date of this this podcast, it is like the first game is on sale for like $4 at the moment, $5. Tokyo Scramble was sick. It's like a
before we talk about it, I left that out specifically because I know somebody in this podcast doesn't like being chased by things in video games, so I left it out specifically from the run sheet. I was being polite.
No, Tokyo Scramble is a survival horror dinosaur game where you're being chased by dinosaurs, and like that alone is like
they're not called dinos, right? I talked about this during the thing. Sorry. Xenos, yeah. I was like, come on, guys, just call them dinos.
and in the dumbest thing ever, there's Xenos with a Z, whereas Xenoblade is Xeno with a fucking X.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, you're being chased by Xenosaurs, I guess. And the interesting thing about this is that they have a multiplayer mode where each person can like take over a different aspect of the character. So like one person looks around, one person moves, one person can use items. Like it seems like a really fascinating idea for a multiplayer experience. So I'm super keen on that. Hollow Knight got its Switch 2 edition.
Sorry, go back and watch the trailer for Tokyo Scramble. And go to like the 30,
you drop the link.
The 30. I can't do it myself because I can't.
Oh, no, you can't.
It's in. It's about the 30-second mark, 32 seconds, as she like crawls out of this tunnel.
Seconds, okay. This better be good. All of us are like figuring. I can't even load the video.
It's the escalator.
The dinosaur on the escalator. So good. I don't know why it's there. It's just
who left that there.
He's just chilling on there.
He's just getting some steps in.
Yeah,
I feel it.
But Yeah, so that looked.
Oh my
really
god,
interesting.
yeah, that's amazing.
Also, his feet are way too big for those steps. How's he actually traversing on that?
Yeah.
And it's like
Uh,
with the space that his feet should be stepping because of how large he is. Why is he not making progress up there? Anyway, sorry.
Pragmata demo is out on Switch 2 now. Looks really good. Plays
Just be
really well.
aware. I played that demo. It took me all of like 10 minutes to finish it.
It's not a long one. Tokyo Xanadu is getting a sequel. Kyoto Xanadu. For the 3 people that care about that. There is Granblue Fantasy Relink is getting an expansion and a Switch 2 release. Monster Hunter Stories 3 got a demo. There's new arcade archives and console archives stuff, which is really cool. The console archives brought Cool Borders, which is available now, and really, really good. Cool Borders is one of my favorite games, so yeah, big fan. Tales of Arise is getting a Switch 2 port. No shockers there. It is only at 30 FPS. This is a super weird situation. It is a 30 FPS game, but then the cutscenes are 60 FPS. Even though the cutscenes are rendered in engine.
Sounds like Avatar: The Way of Water and Fire and Ash when you watch it on IMAX. It's literally the same experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything. But I don't know.
No, it's not everything. You're missing the most important announcement.
What, Captain Tsubasa 2?
No, Leon S. Kennedy has an amiibo. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, Leon has an amiibo.
Oh, it's nothing like him. It's wildly bad.
Like him. I like that this one and the one for the girl in Pragmata. They have like just weird noodly hair.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look great.
What I think is hilarious is that the Grace amiibo, they wouldn't show it to us for the longest time. Like it was supposed to be like some sort of secret, and then all of a sudden it was just like the same pose we've seen her in for months now.
Yeah.
I think Grace's looks like her, but I don't know who did the face for Leon, but they did no good.
I'd argue that the Leon one looks almost exactly like Leon's face model from the 2 remake.
Yeah,
Like it looks very similar to that, and not this game.
Yeah,
which
he doesn't look like
have that wispy
Leon in
beard
this
that
game.
Leon has in the game. What's even funnier is they're selling it's about $340 Australian to buy the 1/8 scale Leon figurine. And I put a comparison shot up. I think I threw it in the Discord for you guys of the $30 amiibo versus the $300 figurine, and it's just like the quality difference is astounding. Like the visual difference, I should say. But it's like again $30 amiibo, and all they do is unlock skins for guns in the game. I think the one we saw for Grace was like a metallic pearlescent paint looking gun skin. So
yeah. Yeah, so that was the direct. What do we think of the direct overall? I think it's going to be very specific to people's tastes. Like for me, that was a really fantastic, solid direct. It had a wide variety of stuff that all interested me. But I know, Michael, you were a little less warm on it.
Yeah, like it was fun. Like there was a couple of things in there that I enjoyed, but it wasn't really like mind blowing. I think I think part of that comes down to like so much of it is just re-releases of like old stuff that I just don't really care.
Switch to playing catch up to the other platforms yet again.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, some of that I'm fine with, because some of those things, like, you know, I wanted to play more of before, but never either got the chance, or I didn't review it, so I didn't play it. But for me, the Direct was sort of, like, there was some good stuff in there, but there was not one single release where I was like, you know, this makes me happy I have a Switch 2. Like, Orbitals 2, great. If they had a release date, that'd have been better, but it's like, that same experience I can get with other games and other platforms. It's not a Switch 2 only thing, so... But there was nothing in this direct that made me happy. Made me like, yes, I'm glad I have this console now because I've got this game I can look forward to playing. Like even the game that I sort of shouted out in our Slack was Oblivion Remastered because I love Oblivion. I think it's a fantastic game. So I'm happy. I own it on everything else already, so I'm not chomping at the bit to get it again. But I'm happy to play it again. So, but if it didn't come to Switch 2, I wasn't missing out on it.
If you're like a multi-platform gamer, it makes it like a little bit harder, obviously, because like. Unless you want to play it portable, like you're realistically there's no real reason to get these games on Switch. You're getting the worst version of them.
By the
But
way,
if you're not, like if this is your
play-
only system, then yeah, live the dream. These are for you.
I did try and play Oblivion Remastered on the Xbox Ally that they sent me for review before Christmas. The thing crashed after like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Needs more
That's
RAM than
surprising.
the hardware has. It needs 16 gig of RAM. The hardware comes with 10. Great, it's like great job, Xbox and Asus. You made a device that doesn't run a remaster of a game that came out 20 years ago.
Brilliant.
Angelo, what did you think of it overall?
That was fine. I didn't watch the direct. I only just saw the little bits of the news that came out afterwards. But like, yeah, whatever. They released some games or announced some games, released some games. Not a lot of them I'm particularly interested in. That's fine. That's cool. Save my money. Play the games I'm already, delaying playing it as it is.
Backlog hell.
I mean, like, genuinely, I think with something like this, right, like, it's better to not be super interested in it because there is so much shit, right? Like, I saw, like, 10, maybe 15 things that I would buy on day one, which is tough because I don't have time to play 15 games this year. And all of this is, like, the first half of the year as well. So, yeah, it's rough. But yeah, for me, overall, quite a good one. But I know that it certainly wasn't for everyone. But hey, orbitals, that's the main thing. Alrighty, we'll skip over the games that we're playing. Just because, would like to get 20 questions in with a decent amount of time. So,
Very quick question: is anyone planning on getting or receiving the Virtual Boy shell?
no, I have zero
I
interest
mean-
in that.
Okay.
Probably at some point, but like I haven't ordered it, and I think that's probably pretty telling.
Okay.
Like if I haven't ordered it,
What
I
about
have
you,
not
Luke?
ordered it, and I have no intentions on playing them. I don't have a connection to the games.
You're not even getting one from Nintendo.
Oh god, Nintendo don't send me anything.
Okay, all right, that's cool. I was just curious because that bad boy comes out on the 17th, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit ashamed to say I haven't looking at it thinking, do I get one?
yeah, like I'm intrigued by it. I think it's just not gonna be good.
Oh no,
I-
hey, no one said anything about good, my friend. Like I'm just gonna get this and just leave it up on my shelf and be like, that is a piece of junk that exists on my shelf.
Yeah,
Maybe
if
I'll
I
use
buy it,
once
it'll
and
be
throw up, but-
to stay in the box and then maybe break out once, burn my retinas with the Switch 2's horrible screen, playing 3D games, and then put it back in there.
I love when they did. So I don't think we talked about it because the news came out after we last recorded, but they put out like the launch lineup of the games. Like there's like 20 games on the whole platform. Don't call it a launch lineup when it's half of them. But what I've laughed at is that like, oh, and we're putting in green, yellow, and grey modes. You just take out the filter. It's like, cool. I just confirmed that it's just the Labo VR headset stuff, which is great. But it just means if you've got Labo VR, you can play the Virtual Boy stuff already.
Well,
This won't
see,
be
the thing
right.
is,
Yeah.
they said that you could, and then they said that you couldn't, and then they said that it's not officially supported, and
It's
It was
the
just
messaging is
pre-conflicting.
so confusing.
I honestly
so
cannot.
confusing.
I can't think of a way that they could restrict this. That you
yeah,
cannot. use
it's
the
not going to
Apple whatever.
detect.
Oh, no.
I
shit.
don't understand.
Like it's
Yeah.
just, it won't work on Switch 2 because like the screen isn't the right size. So
Yeah.
whatever. But if you have a Switch 1 and you have the Labo VR headset, there is no reason you wouldn't be able to use it. Like it just
Yeah.
the way that VR works is that it's
Or
going to
just-
work. Like
Or just like Google Cardboard or something like that. Like
Yeah.
you just make a box and poke some eye holes in it.
I imagine.
It'll be
So
fine.
this is the thing: is like I don't want to do it. Like I would rather not play this in VR. I'm totally fine with waiting until they eventually just bite the bullet and give us a TV version of this.
Yeah.
Which they will eventually, I'm sure. But like, even if I was going to play it in VR, I would just wait for a third party to create like a $40 headset that you can
That you can
use
actually
instead.
wear. That you can
Yeah.
wear and not have to do this for 10
It's one of those
15
weird
minutes
ones
at a
where it's like, but is anyone gonna do that? Is anyone interested enough to make the tooling to make that? You know what I mean?
Probably.
I mean, someone will release the 3D print file and then you can print it yourself. or
Somewhere in
something.
China, there's like 7 trillion like plastic lenses that would be perfect for this that they made for like all the slide your phone into this to do VR shit that just never took off because nobody gave a fuck about it, and now it's like in every op shop on the planet.
But also, if you have a 3DS and you don't mind hacking it, there is a homebrew solution where you can play Virtual Boy games on your 3D screen in 3D.
Which will just
So there is that.
like it's so weird that's gonna be the better option to play these
That-
games.
I still haven't done it, and I've been meaning to do it. Maybe I'll do it next weekend, but I think that would be a super choice way to play these games.
I will
After,
say-
I think
you know,
it'll
sticking your
be
face
actually a very good way to play these games, like genuinely.
because then you can adjust the slider.
Yeah, the thing
How much
that
did you get?
excites me for this one is when they do release the non-VR version, which we know they have because they keep showing us footage of it.
Yeah.
They keep every time they talk about it, they show us a trailer, they show us the games playing in non-VR. It's like,
Obviously, like, I know this is the way you'd be like, if you want to play it, you have to get the stupid cardboard thing or the headset or whatever. And I'm just like, no one wanted the console back then. Like,
Okay,
people
so-
aren't going to spend $180 or whatever it is to buy the
Here's the other thing,
headset.
right? Is that like
140.
no,
there are
sure, sorry, my
already
bad.
ways to reform a VR image into a flat image, like because streamers use it all the time for.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So like you could just like, I'm sure there's probably a plugin in OBS that does it like right now.
No, on OBS, like if it's putting out 2 images, you just literally get OBS and just halve get an overlay, just like half the video source and just put that up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like it reconstructs it to be proper perspective. Like there are plugins that do that for the 2 images because they're like kind of rounded on the edges. There are ones that like will flatten it out and like turn it into a proper 2D plane. And yeah, I mean, I have a capture card. Maybe I'll just do that. I don't know. Will they stop you from playing it in TV mode? Do you reckon?
I don't see. I don't see.
I
them
guess
doing
it
that.
can.
I mean,
I
I
don't
can
know,
see. I
we'll
can see
find out.
them. But it's like, what benefit would they do for that? Because their whole shtick is that you can't play them without the unit. So if you put it in TV mode and play it there, it'd be no different to you playing it in tabletop mode without the VR thing attached to it. It's like,
Yeah, but they can detect. They can't detect when you're in tabletop mode. They can detect when you're in docked
In
mode.
TV
So
mode.
are they just gonna stop you from seeing anything? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. Either way, it's like whatever. I'm not gonna spend like $120 on the piece of plastic that makes me have headaches. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Look, and I understand why it's that way because it's replicating what the Virtual Boy looked like when it first released. But it's like, I have to imagine at some point somebody at Nintendo brought up the question: should we just make this something that people can strap to their head and play it that way? And then somebody would have
Or
said,
just play it on the TV.
No,
It'd be so heavy, like to have it like that. Like you could never do it.
If you had a
It'd be
Switch
so
2 in there,
uncomfortable.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
think the big-
just,
Oh, go on.
no, I was gonna say, I just think somebody would have had to have asked that question at some point, and then somebody's had to justify why it has to be this way. Beyond just
I don't often side with Nintendo on this one, but they're correct on that. that would be an awful idea.
I think the biggest problem is that the Virtual Boy games are locked behind a paywall, a subscription paywall.
Yeah.
So you buy the stupid device, and then if you don't want Nintendo Switch Online anymore, you cannot use the device anymore because you can't play the
Does
games.
it? I'm assuming this is yes. Actually, I've not looked into it. Virtual Boy requires expansion pass,
No.
or is it normal NSO?
I think it's normal NSO.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay,
actually not
that's
sure.
actually surprising.
Yeah, but even so, like you still have to be subscribed to use it. You can't just buy the app itself or the games
No.
alone to use it. It is locked behind a subscription.
The only benefit really is all the Labo VR stuff that was added to the games is now going to be playable on Switch 2. If you buy one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently this hack to install is really, really simple. I'm gonna do it this afternoon, maybe.
It's much, much more simple than it used to be.
It is expansion pack, by the way. So
It is, yeah, I thought so. I was like, I'd be amazed if it wasn't expansion pack.
yeah. But hey, you can spend $30 on cardboard if you wanna use the cardboard one.
Anyway, that was supposed to be a quick question.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
here we are.
Quick questions then. This
Somebody on
podcast.
AliExpress has a Nintendo Switch 2 VR headset for $37, and it straps to your head.
That would
My
be heavy.
neck.
We'll send Ollie the link, and then he can share it with you guys.
Sounds good. Alrighty. 20 questions. I am the game master. I really tossed up between two different things, but I thought one of them was like way too mean to do. So
You wanted to be nice after my game last time.
Wasn't a game.
I mean, I can go with the mean one if you want, but I'd rather save that for later.
All right, we'll start off with the usual. Was it released on or after January 1st, 2010?
Yes.
I love that this still destroys Angelo. Like, this just goes straight to his core.
So it was released after 2010?
Oh, sorry, no. It was not after 2010.
It's going so well.
Was it released? I'm gonna say before 2010, but we already figured that much out.
Why on the headset photo do they keep the Joy-Cons on? Why would they do that?
Yeah, what the hell?
You have to play like this.
So stupid.
It's for balance, clearly.
Anyway.
Yeah, right. That's wild. Was it released in the 2000s?
It was released in the 2000s.
Okay. The worst decade to choose from. So Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, DS, Wii,
GameCube and late 64.
GameCube, thank you, and 64.
Yeah.
Was this released on a home console?
This was released on a home console.
Okay.
Was
this released? Oh, here you go.
No, please.
Was this released on Wii?
This game was not released on Wii.
Was it on GameCube?
Yes, it was on GameCube.
Okay. The library grows ever smaller.
The big question, was this game published by Nintendo?
This game was not published by Nintendo.
Was it developed in Japan?
This game was developed in Japan.
Was this game part of the Capcom 5?
No.
Okay, that would have been incredible.
At least seriously, what was the Capcom 5?
I'd be mad if it was by Capcom though.
Yeah, true.
Is this game part of a series?
This game is part of a series.
Okay.
Oh, a series on GameCube.
Developed in Japan.
Actually, that's a question right there. Was the series itself, like, as in, were there more than one entries to this series on GameCube?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question.
I don't think we've ever asked that question before.
It was. Okay.
So multiple games on the Cube in this series. Yeah, we've never had that question before. We've always just said, is it part of a series, and just assumed multiple console generations.
But there are few series on GameCube. So, like, there are a couple of Pokemon games. There's a couple of Beautiful Joes.
Is Beautiful Joe part of the Capcom 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's neither of those.
It could be Beautiful Joe 2, though. Which isn't part of the Capcom 5.
It's true.
I'm going to assume it's not one of the Resident Evils, because I think he would know there's multiple Resident Evils on Cube. You wouldn't need to Google it.
What other series were there on GameCube?
They were made in Japan. There was some Sonic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey Ball.
Not developed by Nintendo.
No, not published by Nintendo, but yeah. But
Published by Nintendo.
There was Monkey Ball. There was a few of those. Was this game published by Sega?
This game was published by Sega.
Damn.
How many Crazy Taxis were there? No, that was not in Japan, was it? Or was it? Was it in Japan?
It was
Crazy
made in
Taxi was Japan.
It was made in Japan for the arcades, but the ports were done by Acclaim.
Okay.
I don't think Crazy Taxi 2 came out on Cube, though.
I don't.
Did this?
I think it's just Crazy Taxi 1.
Did this game also get an arcade release?
Yes.
Okay.
So presumably that means that there's also a multiplayer mode in there too. Maybe. Can't remember if Crazy Taxi had multiplayer.
I
in
don't
the arcade.
believe so.
No.
Okay,
it did not.
okay. So, forget that logic.
Monkey Ball came out in arcade, right?
Couldn't tell you.
I
I
think
just
it
honestly,
did.
I just associate it with GameCube.
Something tells me there was like a trackball control.
Yeah, that's what I remember, but I could be really misremembering this.
Yeah, same. All right, does the series still exist today?
The series does still exist today.
Because Monkey Ball did get a new game 2 years ago.
Would we
3 years ago?
classify
last
Monkey
year.
Ball as a puzzle game? What would we classify Monkey Ball as?
Call it more of a puzzle platformer.
Yeah, I call it more of an arcade platform or an arcade puzzle game.
Yeah.
Does this game feature monkeys?
This game does feature monkeys.
Oh my god, there we go.
Simplified the question.
Locked in. It's Donkey Konga.
Those are apes.
Oh my god. Okay, so Monkey Ball 1 or Monkey Ball 2? Or Monkey Ball...
No, it's just the two on
What?
Cube.
Is it just a 2 on Cube?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Monkey... Oh, is there?
No, because there was one on there was a launch game for Wii.
Why do I think there's a third one? A cursed one. I don't remember. Anyway. Alright,
Hey, did Nintendo publish Donkey Konga, or was that published by Bandai Namco?
oh god.
There was no arcade release for Donkey Konga.
Yeah, it was.
How many questions do we have left?
5 questions and a guess.
Okay, we've got plenty.
We got pretty close, pretty quick.
Yeah. How do we narrow this down?
We know it was
Ask them to
Sega,
do-
and we know there were monkeys in it.
Ask if it was a Monkey Ball game. Ask if it was the
I mean,
first
it's
in the Monkey Ball series.
That's true.
Or
We're
just
gonna
the
ask if
first
it's a
in the
sequel.
series.
One of the two.
Yeah. Was this the first or the second? No, I'm not gonna say that.
Was this one of the games in the Monkey Ball series?
Yeah, was it the first in the series?
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a complicated question.
Oh god.
Okay, was it first in the series on GameCube?
It is the first in the series on GameCube, yes.
Okay, there we go.
Before we lock in on Monkey Ball, let's just make sure there's no other Sega games featuring monkeys that we've forgotten. The only other game from that era that I can remember is Ape Escape.
Does this game contain a cute monkey named I inside of a ball?
Yes, it does.
Okay, there we go. How has this game never come up? I'm actually
Yeah, I know,
amazed.
right? That's great. That's really good.
Ugh.
I think who nailed it first? Was it you, Luke? It's yours.
Probably, I don't know. Is this game Super Monkey Ball?
Alrighty. So originally released as Monkey Ball in arcades in Japan, used a unique banana-shaped controller, which is a weird thing.
It's Japan.
This
It's on
was
brand.
originally supposed to be
Bananas or tentacles? Pick one.
originally supposed to be ported to the Dreamcast, but unfortunately, because the Dreamcast failed, it ended up getting ported to the GameCube instead
Rough.
as Super Monkey Ball. So yeah, I looked through the list because I was like 100% sure that we had done this before, but somehow it had never come up. Nothing in the series. We've never touched Monkey Ball, which was really surprising to me. But I also thought, if you don't immediately like hone in on GameCube, which you obviously did, if you don't immediately hone in on that, like how do you narrow down the genre of this game, right? Because like it's a real weird.
That
one
must have
where
been
it's-
entertaining when that question came up.
Yeah, I was like, oh please try to go down the genre route, but no, you largely avoided that because like, what do you call it, right? Like it's
Yeah.
an arcade kind of platformy.
I mean, it's almost a
Party
racing
game.
game as well, right?
Yeah, it's a physics based.
It's like a
It's a little bit of a party game, like the party games in Monkey Ball fucking rule. So
Yeah.
I just looked it up. There is a third game, Monkey Ball Adventure. I thought there was.
That game runs brilliantly on Steam Deck, by the way, with the Dolphin emulator. Just FYI.
It's just even on Cube, it's such a flawless experience, pretty much.
It
It's
runs
so nice.
flawlessly in literally any browser. 'Cause it got
Totally. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Good point. That's one that should absolutely come out on the GameCube app, for sure. That'd be so much
Yeah,
fun.
this game.
I still think it's
deserves
hilarious
the
that
GameCube release.
the developers of the Monkey Ball series these days are the same people who make Yakuza.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Back then they were called Amusement Vision because they were making pretty much exclusively games for
AM2.
arcades.
Yep.
And then AM2 is Amusement Vision 2. I think it's really interesting. A lot of Sega's games of this era did originate on like quite powerful arcade hardware, and then the GameCube was basically just that arcade hardware in console form.
I mean, you look at F-Zero GX and F-Zero FX.
AX.
AX. You look at those two like side by side. Apart from the arcade being slightly, a little bit more powerful, they look pretty much.
It's
like-
literally the same game. Like there's literally just a flag in the code. You just change the flag, and it's literally AX. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. So yeah,
I thought
the
you guys-
GameCube being
thought you-
essentially just arcade hardware was really good. But yeah, go
I
on.
told you guys what my first entry to the Monkey Ball games was, didn't I?
Oh my god, this is gonna be bad.
It was
the
the-
mobile phone one, right?
Yeah, the iOS version in 2008 on iPhone 3G. It actually slapped. It was really, really good. And then they took it off the store like a year later or something. That game was so good.
Yeah, no, the
actually- I
GameCube
grabbed all
arcade
those
hardware, the Triforce, it's literally just for GameCube, basically. Like there's zero effort porting a game from Triforce to Cube because it's just
we
the
also
same
got
thing.
Soul Calibur from the same sort of mentality. Or Soul Calibur 2, I should
I
say.
love the F-Zero arcade stuff because you can bring your GameCube memory card to the arcade, plug it into the arcade cab, and you can take your time trial stuff and all your stats and everything and your the F-Zero cars that you made, and you can bring them into the arcade experience and vice versa. It was awesome.
Wasn't
so cool.
isn't the arcade Mario Kart game based off that same tech?
I thought.
Yeah,
as well.
double.
Actually, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure Super Mario Kart.
I think so.
Arcade.
Yeah, probably. Mario
Anyway, I-
Kart arcade Triforce. Let's have a look.
I thought it was a fun one. So
Mario Arcade GP 1 and 2.
Yep.
Ernie, I won't be so nice next time though. I do have one that I genuinely do not think you'll get.
That's fair.
Is it a me level one you don't think we'll get, or just a one you don't think we'll get in general?
Or is it a me level one, which I think you'd get, and then I realized that nobody's heard of this game bar me?
No, it's a really interesting one because like I'm 100% certain that all of you have played it, but I don't think you'll be able to guess it.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I think those are the best ones. That are like everyone has played it and enjoyed it, but it's like a little bit maybe obscure or nobody would ever think about bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun.
But we'll get to that in like 4 episodes, so see you all in 7 months when that
Yeah.
comes.
8 weeks.
2028.
I think Angelo's up next.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember that morning.
No, you won't. We'll remind you. when we
You
start
remind me.
recording. Alright, that about wraps up this episode of the Vookcast. Visit the site Vookcast.net for all your Nintendo news, reviews, and everything in between. Keep up to date. Follow us out on Blue Sky at Vookcast.net, or go to our Discord at bit.ly/VooksDiscord. All of our social information and links for all of the stories covered in this episode are in the episode notes on whatever platform you're listening to. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next show.